Discord. Let me know if the sound is good, and then we can get started doing some painting. If my microphone would cooperate. Give me a sec. Okay, we're good. Why is my stream making noises? Oh, I'm getting followers. That's fun. All right. That was really loud. We're going to do a little bit of painting today because I know a lot of you have asked sort of like, hey, Drive-Thru, you're so good at painting. How do you paint so well? First of all, I'm not that good. Believe me, there are a lot of people way better than me. But I figured you guys could use some tips and tricks on how to make these cars look cool. So I'm honestly just going through the Sim series signups and then painting these cars. So the next one that I haven't done yet is NR2003 in the 04. So I'm painting that. All I've done so far is, I've used my template. I've put the name on the rear banner and I made this number. I based it off of like the Joe Nemechek Nemco numbers. Someone made a number set of those, but it wasn't layered, so I just kind of made my own and just traced it. So I've got a white layer, a blue outline, black outline of that, and then a black shadow. And Adria wants this Logitech sponsorship. So let's make something work. I've downloaded the Logitech logo. This is the new one with the G, the gaming stuff. And yeah, let's throw this on here. So I think we're going to put a big old G on the hood. And then obviously we'll have Logitech going across the side here. And then, I don't know, I kind of want to put some products on it. Like I want to show, I guess if Logitech's sponsoring NASCAR, they probably want to advertise their steering wheels and stuff, right? So I want to put like a G29 or a G920 maybe in front of the wheel here. How long am I going to be live for? I honestly don't know. I'll probably go through like 2 or 3 cars. So I have NR2003 in the 04, Priya McShane in the 42, and then Kumon Cup Series in the 44. I'm going to try and get as much of that done as possible. How long will I live for? Hopefully a while. So yeah, first of all, we want to chop up this logo because I want to get Logitech on the side here out. So we'll just get rid of the trademark because they don't put those on the side of cars. And I want to separate the G from the Logitech. So grab the Logitech, we can Control X to cut, and then just paste that into a new layer. And then if we want to, we can just trim that down. And then trim the G down as well. And there we go. So now we have 2 layers. I'm going to call this one G, and I'm going to call this one Logitech. If I can spell Logitech. So let's grab the G and put that over here. I've made the layer groups for all of the areas of the car. So on the right here, it'll be really small for you guys. I don't know if you can read it. But there's upper, which will just be like hood, roof, and then the deck lid. I've got the bottom side, which is the side that is on the bottom. And then I've got another layer group for the front and one for the rear. So we're going to put this into the upper layer group. And we want to spin this logo around, so we can just grab the rotate tool and spin that guy around. Scale it down a little bit and just try and fit it to this hood as best as we can. I'm going to have to make it a little bit small because I want it to say Logitech as well. Or, I don't know, we could just put the G on there. No, yeah, let's do that. The hood will just have a big old G on the front. And then, I don't know if you guys can see, but in the background here, I've got 3ds Max open, and this is just so I can see how it looks on the car and then do my renders afterwards. And it just has the last car that I painted, which is the Legion 32. So I can already preview what this looks like. I just have to export it, so let's export it into my folder with all of my paints as a TGA file. Flip on over into 3ds Max. Go to our material editor. And then replace that with the texture we just exported. And we can already see how this looks in the car. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Let's we got a little bit more to do. It's not on the bottom side. Let's get the Logitech logo just across the car here. So it's a little bit big right now. Let's scale it down and just try and fit it above the wheel here. You guys can hear me okay, right? You know if I'm like too quiet or whatever. I've in the past like forgotten to turn my mic on and stuff, and people don't tell me. So if you can't hear anything, say something. So that kind of goes into the wheel well a little bit. Let's preview how this looks. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Very, very nice. So I went to the Logitech website, and they've got this cool looking page with their steering wheels on it. So I went ahead and I just grabbed the transparent images of these two wheels. So I think we're just going to stick like the 920 on one side and the G29 on the other. So we can, I've downloaded that PNG here, and that's a little big. Let's open that into a separate tab here. So I want to split these two wheels up. Again, grab one, Control X, Control V, new layer, there we go. And then we can trim it down by just right clicking up here. You take the alpha to the selection, right click, and then layer crop to selection, which I can do really quickly just by right clicking LC. There you go. Awesome. So let's put these two over each other. I think that's pretty good. And let's see if we can sort of fit it like behind the number and in front of the rear wheels here. So I'm going to make a layer group for these just because I'm going to put them both on the bottom side, because when I do the opposite side of the car, I just take all my layers and then flip them. So let's just call this steering wheels. And we're going to put both of our wheels in there. Actually, let's name them. So this is, what is this, the G920. And then this is the G29. And we'll drag that into here. Okay, a little bit large. Let's scale this down a touch and just kind of see if we can slot it into here. I don't know how visible the pedals are going to be, and I feel like having a black background really isn't helping our case. I just got to get the number on top of it. Again, if you guys have any questions about the Sim series and what's going on, and you want like answered immediately, then I'm right here. You can ask away in the chat. What did I do here? I messed up some layers. There we go. So it's there, but it's not very visible because it's like a black wheel on a black base. In fact, I'm going to shrink it a little bit. So I think we're going to spruce it up and throw a little blue there. I don't want to get too complicated with the design because then that'll just be slow. So I'm thinking we'll do something wavy. Like just maybe some like blue waves along the side here. Yeah, I think that'll look good. I'm just trying to visualize right now how I want this to look. Or I could do a solid. I think we'll go waves. So let's make a new layer group here. And this is where we're going to put all our little waves. So I'm going to call this waves. What gave you the idea to do the series? A comment, actually, like straight up when I put out the newest part of the like Crash compilation series. Someone straight up commented like, "You should do a series," and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I should do a series," because I feel like I, at this point, have the fan base to be able to do something about it, like make a series and it be popular. But also, it was like, I can also just like paint people's cars and like live stream the races, stuff that I can put together with an offline series to just do something bigger and better than anybody's ever done before. Are Darlington schemes confirmed? Probably, unless I'm like super busy that time of the year. Yeah, I don't know. Like, sure, I'll paint throwbacks. They're usually pretty simple designs because they didn't have like fancy computers and vinyl printers and stuff. So it's actually really easy to paint throwback cars. I should show off all the schemes in a video. Yes, I will. Either right before the duels or like maybe on the Saturday before the duels. I'm gonna do a little like driver introduction paint presentation thing. You'll see what I mean when it comes out. So that should be fun. Okay, so less talking, more painting. Let's do some wave. Some waves. So I love the GIMP paths tool because I can just kind of jump in here, and I made a new layer called wave here, and I'm just gonna kind of freehand some wavy lines down the side of the car while trying to stay under the Logitech logo because I don't want to cover that up, and just kind of bring it back along this line. Just nice wavy kind of smooth thing. We'll make a selection from this path, and I think we're gonna go with that Logitech blue. See how that looks. It's a little bit flat. I think what we're gonna do is take another color slightly darker than the Logitech blue, and that way we can just sort of gradient it and it won't look really flat. Or we could just go right to black. Let's see how that'll look. That gets really dark, I don't like that. How does qualifying work? I'm gonna simulate qualifying for the super speedway races. So like for the duels, it doesn't even matter that much. It's only the front row that matters. So I'm just gonna announce it when I do like the driver intros. I'll probably do it in like reverse order of qualifying and stuff. And then for the other races, we're gonna do group qualifying. So I'll just stream it right before the races start. So that looks good. I kind of like that. Let's make some more waves. So first of all, we can trim this down, and then we'll make a new layer with another wave on it. I like keeping things in separate layers just because if you mix it all into one, it's hard to move stuff around afterwards. So again, we're in the paths tool, and we're just gonna freehand a little wave thing here. Maybe have this one go a little bit further back. Triple A Cup Series, I'm gonna kick you if you keep making those dots in chat. God damn it. Behave yourselves. Anyways, get this wave. This one's gonna be a little bit fatter because it's a little bit lower on the car. And then again, selection from path. I'm using the gradient tool just so we can get a lighter blue at the front, a darker blue at the back. That's the exact opposite of what I want to do. There we go. And that looks pretty cool. We can turn off the mask and the wireframe just to sort of get a look at how this is. It looks okay, but it's the exact same as the other wave. I kind of want to separate them a little bit. So, how can we do that? What if we do make this one backwards? Or we can give this a repeating pattern. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the look of that. okay, I read chat. You don't have to spam chat to get me to notice you. I know you're here. My goodness. So I'm going to do another wave here. Let's trim this guy down. And I think we'll go like thinner when they get to the top. And maybe... yeah, I'll try to put one like behind the logo. We'll see how that looks. Because I don't want to have blue going on inside the Logitech logo. That'll just look crazy. So we'll go to paths again and just kind of freehand a little wavy thing. Maybe end it up here. And then we'll go back along. And this one will be a little bit thinner than the rest. Oh, I should have put Bob Ross in my thumbnail. I think that would be really funny. Okay, so I like the look of that, but I don't like the look of it covering up the logo. So let's give like a little outline and then a black background for the logo so it doesn't go right through the O like that. So we're going to make a new layer group here. And we're going to put the Logitech logo into there. And then we're going to add an outline. So I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call that outline. I'm going to right click on Logitech here, alpha to selection, and then that'll select the entire Logitech layer. I can right click, select, grow, and let's try like 6 pixels, sure. So now you can see that sort of expands the contour of the Logitech logo. I can go back to my outline layer and we're gonna make this black. And I'm just using the paint bucket tool here to fill my selection. That looks good, but you see this line still comes through the O. So what I'm gonna do is just, I'm going to use the free select tool, holding shift so that adds everything in here in my selection, and just grab all of the insides of these letters. And I think that's going to look real nice. How many cars are allowed in a race? 42, which is why I have that like top 35 rule, and there's going to be a lot of people fighting for those part-timer spots. So now we can paste this in again, or paint bucket that in. Now we have the cool wave, and we also have like a legible Logitech logo. So I like these waves, but I want to add a little bit more depth. So I think I'm going to add more waves behind these and then make them a little bit darker and a little bit thinner. So I'm going to make a dark wave layer here. Or sorry, a dark wave layer group. Adria, I'm glad you're happy with this because this is for you. Once I get these layers figured out, and then I'm gonna add some dark waves. So we're just gonna take our color here and just darken it down a little bit. We can also just decrease the opacity because our background is black anyways, so we'll make it this darkness for now and we can play with it later on. So again, we're going wavy. We'll make these a little bit more wavier than the front ones, just kind of going back and forth. We'll end it over here and then trace our path, keep it nice and thin. And then again, a selection from that path. We'll use our gradient tool. And nice. So that looks really cool back here under the Logitech logo. It adds a little bit of depth. We can also play with the opacity, as I said. And just kind of control the brightness of that guy. I think that looks pretty good. So let's put a few more of these little thin dark waves in here. Maybe this one will go like a little bit further up here. And it'll just kind of end up behind the Logitech logo. And then follow that wave. Again, keeping it nice and thin. Honestly, like, I'll leave how in depth you guys go entirely up to you. I know there's some series where they like ask them to do interviews and stuff. Some people find that really weird, but some people really want to get into it. So I think that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to record like interviews or anything like that. I think it gets a little bit silly sometimes. So I'll add a little wave down here. I forgot that the main purpose of these waves was to actually like show off the wheel a little bit more. And I'm doing too many waves higher up on the car. That's looking pretty cool, actually. This is turning out well. So let's connect this all together. Make a selection from the path. Again, go to the gradient tool. Got a nice dark blue. Alright, I'm going to pull the wireframe out of the way so we can preview this back in 3ds Max on our render scene. Looking nice, looking fancy. And now you can see the wheel is way more visible because you have the blue contrasting behind it. I don't know if we're going to mess with the hood. I kind of like the way that G looks on the black background. I might add something across the front here just to kind of connect the waves on each end. And yeah, apart from that, I think design-wise we're done. I could do some waves on the roof behind the number. Yeah, let's do that. I think that'll look good. So again, the best part about putting things in layer groups like these is I can now just duplicate my waves layer group and just literally move it to the top of the car like that. Obviously, I'm just going to be under the number. That looks pretty cool. Let's trim that down. And yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe rotate it a little bit so it's a little more even in the rear. And that's pretty simple. We'll do that again with the dark waves group. Just duplicate that, move that to the top, and then just drag it to the top of the car. And sorry, I gotta trim this. There we go. Maybe we'll flip it vertically just so it doesn't look exactly like the side of the car. Nice. So again, we can turn the mask off and preview how that looks. And we have a new subscriber. I told you guys, I have new subscriber notifications. So, oh, I missed it. Oh, Foxy Game Channel, thank you for subscribing. And I have a few more of those graphics, so if you guys get your friends to subscribe, you can see, like, I've got a bunch of variations. It should be a lot of fun. Alrighty. I like the look of that. So let's move on over to the front, and using our render scene, I can kind of just visualize. I want something, maybe just a blue wave across the front of the car, going from about where the r/NASCAR logo is. So we'll move on to the front and just make a nice little wave. We'll go lighter blue on this one. And again, path tool. Just go over here. We're going to draw it halfway and then duplicate it to the other side of the car. Just because it's way easier to make everything symmetrical that way. So we can use the wireframe. We can see this white line is where the center of the front bumper is. So we can just draw along that, connect it all together, make a selection from the path, and then we can gradient with the light blue in the middle and the darker blue towards the front of the wheel. That looks great. Trim that layer down and then duplicate it, flip it horizontally, And then move it on over to the other side. Again, we can use this center line here to make sure it's perfectly symmetrical. And there you go, it's that easy. We can even merge those two together, and we now have one layer with a nice curve across the front, symmetrical in the middle. How many people have done their own schemes? I think like 5 or 6. About that. I know Janza said he wants to paint his own, but he also wants me to paint one of his because he saw how like he really liked the way my paints looked. Do I have a favorite one I've done? That's a really good question. I think the Dr. Pepper one looks really cool. Like, hold on, let me take a look. That's a good question. What is my favorite out of these? The Peak one looks really cool too. I like that blue. Red Bull looks really good too. The Red Bull one turned out really nice. The 5-Hour Energy one turned out really nice. I really like the Dr. Pepper one because it does have fender numbers and it is my own design. Like the Red Bull one is based off of a previous car or whatever. Coke Zero is pretty good too. Because like I designed those bases. Oh, the Santa Cruz car though. This thing's crazy. There's so many colors going on. Where's the list right now? It's like literally just go to announcements in Discord, and then the order that people signed up in is the order that I'm painting cars in. This might be my favorite, honestly. The Santa Cruz 25 with like all the crazy designs on it. I literally just like looked up designs that they put on their skateboards and just sort of made them fit on the car. I basically tried to get a car that looks like a skateboard, and I really think I succeeded. And I like the look of it, honestly. And the back looks really cool too. I don't have a render of it, but the logo goes like right across the back. Here, actually, I'll show you on this. The 25 Santa Cruz. The back looks sick. The back looks like, here. Let me spin this camera around real quick, and then you guys can see. It's got the logo like angled across the whole rear end of the car, and it just looks sick. I like it a lot, honestly. It's not really my design because I just took like their skateboard designs, but the way I fit on the car, I think I maximized the skateboardness of it. Okay, so let's get back to business here. The top looks nice. I want to make it a little bit wider here. So I think I'm just going to take the dark waves, move it down to like here, and then just duplicate it, flip it vertically, and put them up here. I think that's nice. I like that. Oops, these are leaking a little bit. So let's try and get these off the hood. Wherever they are. There we go. And that looks really cool. Let's export it and take a look at whatever that thing on the front is. I think that's nice. You can kind of draw a line here over the wheel between this new front thing we added and then the waves on the side. It's got the G on the black hood. That looks cool. There's a little bit of design under the numbers on the top. Overall, I like it a lot, honestly. So now, usually, on the rear quarter here, I can stick whatever their secondary sponsor is, which in this case is AMD. Go over Google. Look up the AMD logo. I can make the rest of the cars in the stream. No, like at least 3 though. So we can save that. That's an AMD logo, and it's got transparency, which is exactly what we want. And then just open on up our AMD logo. It's black, which isn't going to work on a black car, so right click, alpha to selection, and we're going to make this white with the paint bucket tool. There you go, now you've got a white AMD logo. So scale this baby down, and we're just gonna fit it on this rear quarter here. I think that looks good. A little bit larger maybe. Yeah, there we go. I will fight you only because I recently swapped out my RX 470 for a GTX 1070, which I like a lot more, so even though they're not at the same level. AMD's nice. Ryzen's cool. It's certainly more power for the price. This computer isn't Ryzen, but like computers I've built past this have been, only because I built this like a long time ago on like Intel 6th gen, even though I've replaced it now with a 7th. Anyways, I like the way this bottom looks. Let's export this, save it, save my work, because I've already been slapped earlier. I had a whole paint done like this, I didn't save it, and then GIMP crashed. It was disgusting. So let's render this out and let's see how this looks. I like the look. I like the black cars, honestly. Like, I realize so many of the cars I've painted are just on a black base, because it makes that blue really pop. Like that G on the hood, fantastic. And I think the white numbers work very well. I think the logo on the side looks really nice. The waves turned out really cool. Even like the steering wheel on the side of the car looks nice. I like it a lot. I think I'm going to shrink the hood logo a little bit just because it's like going over the edge of the hood here, and I want to throw like a little AMD above the Chevy badge. So let's do that. So we have our Logitech logo here. Just shrink it down a touch so it all fits on top of the hood. And then I want a white AMD logo. We already have a white AMD logo here, so we can just go to this guy, duplicate it, move it into our layer group for the top here, spin it around sideways. Can I get a render program without GIMP? What? I'm rendering in 3ds Max, so I just export the GIMP here, and I'm just using like the render scene that Splash and Go made for these cars, and I just like moved the camera around a little bit, customized it a touch. So let's, I don't know if that's going to be too curved, so let's check the render here. I think that looks okay, but it would look better if it wasn't curved out here. So I'm going to show you guys how to like curve a logo in GIMP. How about that? Because I want to run this along sort of where the wireframe is, because the hood curves. I've said curve a lot. So go layer to image size, so we don't have that little boundary there. And we're going to use the cage transform tool, which I love. And we're just going to draw a 6-point cage around this AMD logo. Simple like that. This is a tool that's great for the window banners. When people have really long names, it doesn't fit on the window banner unless you curve it. So now we have this 6-point cage here. And we can just drag the middle point downwards and up here as well. And just kind of curve that logo. I think that looks pretty cool. I think that'll look better than how it is currently. There we go. Press enter. Now we can trim that back down just to stay organized. Turn the mask off. Save it. Export it. And there you go. That AMD logo looks so much better than it did before. So I think we can do the final render on this guy. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that a lot. I think that came out really well. This looks sick. So let's save that. I've got a folder full of my renders here. I'm going to call this 04 logitech.png. And then before we do anything else, we got to make the opposite side of this car, right? Because as you guys, I'm sure, have seen, the other side is still just black. So here's a really cool tip that I just kind of figured out myself to get the bottom side of your car and the top side of your car here perfectly symmetrical. So I have all of my bottom side layers in this layer group here, but I also have a copy of my contingency decals for just this door in that group. So all I gotta do is duplicate this whole layer group. So now I've got 2 copies of all of the graphics on the bottom here. We're gonna flip it vertically, and then we gotta kind of drag it in place. So everything's backwards, don't worry about that yet. But we need to figure out, we need to position this in the exact same position that this is. So to do that, we just turn on our second set of contingencies that I moved over now, and you can see how everything's off a little bit. You just grab everything and slowly move it until those contingency layers line up perfectly, and there you go, that's it. So we can turn that off now, and then we can just go through and horizontally flip all of our logos, all of our numbers. So like our Logitech logo, oops, I gotta trim that before I flip it. There you go, and it stays right there. The steering wheel, we can flip, but now you see the steering wheel's backwards, and then like the pedals are here. But if you remember, way back over here we have 2 different steering wheels, right? In the G920, the pedals are on this side, and in the G29, the pedals are on this side. So instead of flipping this, because then it would look weird, because like the logo and all the numbers and the buttons and stuff would be backwards, we can just switch to the G920. All of that stuff is straight. The pedals are still behind the number, the wheel's in the same spot. Thank you for subscribing. Whoever that was. Skull and Boats. Wait, did you just unsubscribe and then resubscribe? Just to see the thing? God damn it, dude. Alright. So then we don't flip the waves because that's like the underlying design. And there you go. You've got perfectly symmetrical bottom side and top side. So now all we need to do is just stick some stuff. Thank you, Alex Moffat, for subscribing. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying my little subscriber notifications. And then on the back, I think we'll just put a Logitech logo. And that's easy enough to do. We can just duplicate the Logitech logo we already have, move that to our rear group. Oops, that's the upside down one. Flip it, scale it. Thank you, Jansa, for subscribing. I think that's all of the ones that I have, honestly. All of the notifications I put together. Nice, so we can fit that in. I think that looks great, honestly. It's one of my favorites. So, thanks for being here for this one little paint. I'm just going to put this in Discord first before I do anything else. Renders. Wow, that flow is getting big. And this is the number 04 Logitech Camaro for Asia Fitzy. And then we're going to stick that in the showroom as well. Number 04 Logitech Camaro. Simple as that. So now we're going to make the secondary car. So all I'm going to do is just save as on this guy. So I still have the original Logitech car, but I already have like my numbers and my logos and everything in place. So we can start just by deleting our copied bottom, because once we're done the bottom here, we're just going to copy that back over. We don't need the small AMD logo. We definitely don't need the steering wheel. We can delete that. We don't need the big Logitech logo. And we're going to get rid of the waves because I want to do a fresh design over here. So firstly, let's just get a little Logitech logo to stick on the quarter panel or whatever. And just fit that guy in quarter panel. And I think we're also going to put the Logitech text there too. Scale it down, make it fit. Mitchell, why are you using my real name? Like, you can do it, it's just weird. I don't know, nobody on this channel calls me that. There we go. That might be a little bit big, but I don't know, the AMD logo is pretty small, so. We can get rid of the waves on the roof. And, where are the waves? There they are. We can get rid of the tiny AMD logo. And I think we're just going to put Logitech on the deck lid here. Yeah, I guess it detects if you like unsub and then resub quickly, or it might like take a while to process unsubbing. But don't worry, like you'll see the notifications. Okay, so that's cool. Now we need some inspiration for an AMD card. So I know their branding used to be red, and I think like that dark red that they used would look really cool as a base. But I'm not sure if that's still the case, so let's quickly export this to something else so we don't overwrite our Logitech stuff. And let's go over here and switch to previewing our AMD scheme, which right now is just empty. And let's go to like, what's the AMD website? AMD.com? I'm just gonna search AMD. It is AMD.com. Okay. Oh right, they've got this like orange and red. Jake24, you need to go on Discord, buddy. You've not been on Discord for like 3 days. You're not signed up right now. So I think we'll put AMD, no, we'll put Ryzen on the hood, and then we can put like AMD on the side. Yeah, so it looks like we can use this like red orange, but it looks like generally they have a black base, so I think we're going to keep the black base. So let's find a Ryzen logo. There we got one. Let's see if we can find a bigger one. Maybe not. That's okay, this will do. So let's download this Ryzen logo. The only problem is the text is black. And if we're going to do it on a black car, it's not going to work. That's nice, but I don't know if I like the shadow. Let's try this. We're going to download both of those and then try each of them. Actually, that shadow might look cool on the hood of the car. So let's see how those look. Let's try the white one first. It's a little bit small. It's nice, but I'd like it to be bigger. I can try scaling it up, but then of course, like, we're losing resolution. But the glow does make it look cool, honestly. Let's export this and just see what it looks like real quick. Okay, that's really glowy. Hold on, let me test render. Hope this glow isn't too much. Yeah, actually that looks okay. I kind of like that. The glowy Ryzen logo on the hood. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I'm satisfied. So let's change the number background because we're still on the Logitech color. The benefit of making numbers with like different layers for the different colors here is we can then just alpha to selection the blue layer. I want some of that orange, so let's it's got a cool gradient, honestly. Let's grab the starting color and let's grab the brightest color, which I think is this. Go back over here. And then either we can make the numbers, we can leave the numbers white and go kind of like red, orange outline, or we can give them a white outline and then make the numbers red, orange. I don't know if the red, orange ones will look good though. And I still haven't really figured out a design here. Honestly, I might just take the Ryzen like circle thing and just put it around the car here. I think we're going to leave it pretty simple for this one. Or we could go ham and just put like lines all over the car and stuff. We could make it black at the front and then like orange red gradient at the back. So it starts red like in the middle here and then it's orange by the time it gets to the back of the car. That could be cool. And in that case, maybe the numbers should have the orange outline like that. I think that'll look cool. So let's go on over to top, do the same there. Oops. And then I've also, on the rear of the car, I put this little number here. So we can do the same, just make it orange, and then on the front as well. The attention to detail here is important, I think. One second here, hold on. Alright, okay, I'm back. So let's mess around in the back here. I don't really know what to do for the design. I'm just going to kind of wing it. So let's make a new layer group and just call it design. I think I might do like a curve at the front that goes around the car. I don't know. Ryzen's not really curvy though, is it? Where's the AMD website? Do I like Smithfield? I don't eat Smithfield. I don't know if they have it in Canada. Let's look at Ryzen here. I just want to look at sort of like the way they advertise this, whether it's something that I would make a wavy scheme for or something I would make like a sharper one. And I think this all looks pretty sharp, like some stuff like this. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for some sharp angles. What do I use to stream on? OBS. Streamlabs OBS, it's fantastic. I don't use Bandicam. I recommend OBS, definitely. Okay, so we're gonna go angles. I think we can maybe kind of freehand some kind of like cool looking design thing where it goes back this way and then like this is looking like my GoPro scheme already. And just kind of so we can split this car in half, you know. Just do a lightning bolt type thing along the side, and then it'll go flat at the bottom. I think that's cool. Let's run our little gradient along here and see how that looks. So we're gonna make a new layer and just call this gradient. Ooh, that does look good. I do like that. That's a cool looking color. So to make this edge a little bit more pronounced, I think I'm going to add a white outline. So we're making another new layer here. We'll call this one white outline. And then select grow. And then we're going to go, sure, 8 pixels. And we're going to select white here. And then, unfortunately, when you grow layers in GIMP, it just kind of curves around the corners like this. So I'm just going to manually fill these in because I want these to be nice and sharp. So we want a real sharp scheme here. Even though that one's hidden by the number, I'm just going to do it anyways because, you know, in case I move it afterwards or whatever, I don't want it to look weird. And that looks nice, so let's just put in this white outline. Very cool. There's a good job of separating these two sides. Nice. I like these colors a lot, actually. Am I a little quiet? Sorry, I'm away from the microphone a little bit. I think this should be better. Sorry if I'm making like mic adjustment noises for you guys. Alright. I think this looks cool. Let's do a little bit on the front. I think I'm just going to do a horizontal here. Just to connect this orange looking thing. Oh my god, my microphone does not stay up. It's real flaccid today. I had like an elastic band to try and hold it up, but then that broke. It's really janky. I don't want to talk about it. So let's make a little design group on the front, and we'll make a new layer for the gradient. And we're just going to go horizontal line. We can export and look in our render. I'm going to make the line kind of where the NR Track Designs logo starts. So we visualize it, we draw a little box, and then we can put our gradient in. So over here you can see it's turning into the brighter orange at the front. So I think I'm going to start with the brightest orange in the middle, and then slowly get darker like that. Let's see if that's too dark or not. I think a little bit lighter. Oh, that'll look good. I'll make a white outline for that one as well. So again, right click, select grow. 8 pixels, because that's what we used on the side of the car. Add that little white line there. And trim that down for organization's sake. And let's just preview how this looks right now. Oh, that looks real cool. I like that. That orange along the back. We still have to do the deck lid, and we still have to do the rear panel, and we still have to put an AMD logo here, obviously. But I like that. This, like red, orange. It looks really cool. It looks like one of those expensive tropical drinks. Honestly, that's what it reminds me of. So we need a logo to put on the side here. I can either put another Ryzen logo or an AMD logo. Also, I think I'm going to make this Logitech. I'm going to get rid of the G. It's just not working for me. Like, the colors don't match either. I think I'm just going to make this black. There we go. So we can just alpha to selection again. Paint bucket some black in there. And then I want AMD right along here. So let's grab the AMD logo that we saved earlier. And then we can pick either black or white. Or actually, that looks pretty good. Let's see how this thing looks. And then we can try white and see if it pops more. I like that. I don't like how this is kind of cutting into it. So let's grab the whole design and just move it a little bit to the front. I think that's as far as we're going to go. And then we can bring this AMD logo down a little bit. Mitchell, I'm going to kick you. Mitchell, I'm going to kick you. Don't do it. You know it's not right to spam. Come on, man. Okay, so let's test this thing in white. Export it and see how that looks. Definitely not as visible. I think we're going to go back to black. I like that. I like that a lot. I think we can stick a little Ryzen logo down here because this place is looking kind of empty. But luckily we have that black Ryzen logo that we didn't end up using on the hood. There it is. I don't think he's the offender because he wasn't the one spamming in chat. If that was a joke, it really didn't hit home. I'm sorry, dude. Alright, so Ryzen. Anywhere along there. Let's see how this looks on the geometry. Yeah, that's nice, eh? It's glowy, it's like kind of bright. Very, very cool. Okay, so now we still have to do the deck lid and the rear panel, but other than that, and then like put it to the opposite side, of course. I think this came out really nice. I didn't think this glow would look good, but honestly, like, it looks really cool. That glow on the hood. The paint color is gorgeous. So let's go over here. We'll make a new layer group for the deck lid. And then we'll gradient in here. Here's the hard part. It's hard to match sort of the gradient color here with what we're going to have on the deck lid, but we're going to try our best. It may take a little bit of trial and error, but all in a day's work, isn't it? So again, we're going orange and red. I think it's a little bit closer to the red side. That might be a little bit dark. But let's take a look. Of course, another great part about having the render scene is you've got this top view right here. You can see it's a little bit more orange along the back of the deck lid than it is kind of around here. So we can just sort of adjust. See how that looks. We can just peep right here at the render. It's a little bit brighter. It's nice. Also, what we can do is say, screw this. Just make a big old box. Gradient inside there. And then you can just position that. Trim it, of course. Hold on, I forgot to check chat. I do live in Canada, that's true. What am I using to get the renders? It's 3ds Max. And Splash & Go Graphics has like a 3ds Max render scene available for download on their website. So I'm using that, and then I just moved the camera around to make it a little bit unique. So let's sort of move this back a little bit, get a little bit brighter. I think that's nice. I think we're much more on par with the side here. And that's cool. So we'll just delete everything that's not on the deck lid. So select the deck lid, Control I inverts your selection, delete that, and then we can just trim back down. And there you go, you have a deck lid. So we had a Logitech logo up on there. The blue on orange just looks gross, so we're going to make that black. Very simple. Again, you just output a selection and paint bucket that a different color. So now we just have the rear panel to do. So we'll make a new layer group in here, call it... Actually, we don't need a layer group because we're not making a white outline at all. We're just going to make this... Yeah, we're going to call it gradient. And then we're going to select the rear panel, trim the layer to that size so you can see this dotted yellow line, which is the outside of like what the actual layer size is, gets shrunk here. We're going to grab our orange, and you can see it's starting to turn to red here. So I think what I'm going to do is just grab this exact color and red. Or no, I might go back up to orange. I'm going to grab this color. So I'm going to turn off the metallic layer and the shading layer so I can just use my eyedropper tool and just pick up the color that I left off on. And now I can use the gradient tool with the repeat function. And I can go that color to brightest in the middle and back out to the other color. So let's get rid of the wireframe, export that. And shading is turned off. But now you've got a good balance of color here. So it's the same orange that it leaves off at the rear edge is the same orange that I pick up. It goes a little bit brighter and a little bit darker. So now we can turn the shading and the metallic back on, which again I turn off just so I can pick the exact colors. And I think we're just going to put an AMD logo across the back. So we'll duplicate the one we have on the bottom, bring it to the rear, and shrink this guy down. Nice. That looks cool. I'm really happy with the way these turned out, honestly. For even a little bit more depth, I think I'm going to take the orange outline up here on the top of the car and just run an orange-red gradient across it. Like that. That looks cool. I think it just makes it look a little bit cooler. So before we copy everything over to the opposite side, let's save it, really important, export it. You can see the AMD logo on the back here, and let's run this render. And I'll take the time to go back through chat. What paint program am I using? It's GIMP. It's free to use. It's fantastic, and it's open source. So there's a whole bunch of plugins and stuff you can like add on in there. Oh, Kuman, your car's not been made, but I know I might have asked you in the Discord, but I haven't had a chance to check that. So, can I paint your car Like, you asked for a brown and yellow Tim Hortons car, which, like, honestly, I think will look really bad. Like, you're literally making a car in pee and poo colors. So, let me know, because I want to paint your Tim Hortons car like this. This is a scheme that I made for iRacing. So, Kumon Cup Series, let me know. Can I make your Tim Hortons car like this? Because this will look way better than, like, a brown and yellow car. Just throwing that out there. Let me know. That looks cool. I like that a lot. I think the gradients came out nice. The lightning bolt is sort of hidden by the number, so it's not really out there. That looks cool. So we'll save that, stick it in our renders folder. 04amd.png. Kumon, if you stick around, I'm doing Priya's car next, but your car's after that. So, like, you might get painted in the stream. So let's go to the Discord real quick and throw this new 04 up. Oh, it takes a second for that to load. It didn't used to do that. There's so many renders. I think I have like half a gig of purely renders now. Number 04 AMD Ryzen Camaro for Adria Fitzy. Nice. Nice. That looks so cool. Number 04 AMD Ryzen Camaro. I'm excited to see, Cody, I'm excited to see your 28 car, how that looks. That should be fun. Both your cars. Okay, so now again, tips and tricks to get this bottom side perfectly mirrored to the top side. I have a copy of my contingency decals in this group. So I duplicate this group and I can flip it vertically. And with that copy of my contingency decals, I can match it exactly to the ones that I have already. Perfect. And then just flip everything horizontally, and then I'm done. So Ryzen flips. The AMD logo, flip that around. Logitech, flip it, and then the number. Flip that, boom, we're done. That easy. And that is Adria Fitzy's 04 cards. Ooh, it's on Stunod. Okay. You have to send me the PSD though, because I have to stick all my contingencies and my banners and stuff on it. Alright, so the 04 car is done. So I go back over to my little box of fun. Next up is number 42, Priya McShane, Ineos and DC Solar. The DC Solar scheme will be 2016 Brennan Pool. Oh, interesting. So not the new one. 2016 Brennan Pool, who almost won at Talladega. Oh yeah. That should be pretty easy to make, honestly. Dark blue, gray, light blue, gray, white, light blue. Yeah, I could do that. Alright, so we need numbers. So let's go on over to the beautiful number emporium that is Big Evil Racing. And let's find Kyle Larson's number 42. So, Big Evil Racing, I love them so much. They're one of my contingencies in this series. Because I get all of my stuff, so many of my numbers and logos and stuff from them, so I put them on the front of the car. I think they deserve it. So we'll go numbers, Cup Series, and we're looking for Kyle Larson's number 42, which I think is page 4. Yes, sir, there it is. Even though it's red, and it's not anymore. So let's close all this stuff we're not using anymore. We don't need the Logitech, we don't need the steering wheels, we don't need Ryzen, and we don't need 04. Where did I put that? Here we are. I'm having a problem with GIMP where if I open PSDs and stuff from inside 7-zip or from the bottom bar in Chrome, it like restarts the app entirely. So you can see I've lost everything I've done here, and if I don't save my work, it like will actually delete it. Okay. Also, Adria, I've been meaning to ask, why is, if you're changed to Adria on like, why is your Twitter still say Ryan Fitzy? I'm not sure what's up with that. So we're making a Camaro, right? Camaro. So we can honestly just open up the Camaro we just finished, which is this AMD car, and then just base our 42 off that. So we're going to start with, I think we're going to start with DC Solar because we know that's easy to make. So the 42 DC Solar Camaro. Okay, so we could remove everything except for the numbers. I'll let you know why in a second. And that copy of my contingencies. And we know the base is going to be white. Can you tweet to me? Yeah, you can tweet to me. Do you follow me on Twitter? Follow me on Twitter. So we want this 42 and we want DC Solar colors on it. So we can see it's black with a white shadow and then a blue outline. So let's go DC Solar logo. And I want all of the colors from it. And I think this does a pretty good job of showing them off. So we can open this image in a new tab and save that. Even though it's tiny, I'm not actually going to use this logo. I just want the palette from it. So we've got this light blue. We've got this little gradient. So it goes from that light blue to a darker one. And then we've got this dark blue. Perfect. So dark blue, light blue, and then the sort of medium one that it gradients to in the letter. And that's all we need that for. So we want the number to be white with a black outline. Let me just look up the Ineos car real quick. So that's a white number with a black shadow. And here we've got a black shadow, or the black number with a white shadow. That's simple enough for us to do. So alpha to selection this layer. Boom, there you go, black 42. So now we can start dragging this in. And I've kept the 04s here simply so I can position these numbers and like scale them and just have it all at the same, you know, the same size, the same positions. Keeping things uniform here. Nice, that looks good. So now I can delete the 04. We're going to do the same thing on the roof, because roof numbers are not actually at the same aspect as the door numbers. So I got to scale it down, and then I got to squeeze it a little bit to fit it on the roof. That looks good. And then a little bit of extras. We're going to put one, we're going to do our rear and front corner numbers. So again, we're just thank you Baldumati37 for subscribing, and happy birthday Trevor Bain, 20 years old. Let's throw this 42 here. I'm just using that 04 as a guide so I can get it in the same spot, and then just delete the 04. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the front. Perfect. Looking nice. Okay. So we know on the hood we need this DC Solar logo. It's pretty good looking right there. So we're going to look for a large transparent Do they only have the 350 logo? Is there no just normal DC solar? Alright. That's fine. I don't mind that. This is, oh, that's more than enough pixels. We can work with that. So, let's open that logo we just downloaded. And we want to separate these layers. So we don't care about the 350 part, because this is not a race, this is a race car. So we can just quickly delete that. I don't know if we want this white outline, but we're on a white car, so I don't think it's going to make a difference at all. We just want to split up this sun from the DC Solar logo. So Control X, Control V, make a new layer out of that. And then we can alpha to selection, layer crop, and then same with the other one, alpha to selection, layer crop. Perfect. So we'll take the little sun first, and we'll try to get that on the hood, whatever we like best. So, wireframe is non-existent. Oh, I turned it off, that's why. But it's also really hard to see a white wireframe on a white car, so I made a second one where I just took the wireframe and made it black for this exact purpose. So I literally don't think rotating that made a difference. But we'll stick our little DC solar sun on here. And it's on the right side, pretty small actually. Oh, Adria, that's tough, but thanks for opening up about that. And that does make sense now. So we're going right side of that logo. DC Solar across the bottom, so we can grab our newly cut logo here. I'm going to change the name just because I don't like seeing pasted layer all over my list of layers on the side here. See, I've got 2 Trevor Bayne cars in this series now. Someone wanted like 2 different Trevor Bayne paints. So I have his Wood Brothers car and his Advocare car. Even though he's out for next year, which I think is something waiting to happen. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. So let's export this into our folder full of exports and just kind of preview how this looks in our render scene. Okay, it's really blown out, so it's hard to see. Let's do a quick little render. Excuse the sniffles, I'm a little bit sick right now. I've also been at home painting literally all day. That looks pretty good. I like the DC Solar positioning. I like the sun positioning. I'm quite happy with that. So before my whole thing freezes, we can cancel that render and jump back down to the side. So front looks good. This is a great photo to show us the side. Sun and then DC Solar. So we'll make a new layer group. Call it DC Solar. And then we're going to put the sun and the text into it. So let's try and get this to a more reasonable size. I think that's pretty good. I like that. Maybe a little bit smaller because we're going to have to fit the sun in on the left side. And now let's shrink the sun down. Oops. I don't know. That looks kind of small. Is it the same height? No, it's a little bit bigger. Aha. I do like that. That looks good. So now we've put that into a layer group just so we can rotate the whole thing whenever we want to. And now we're going to make a new layer group, and we're just going to call this stripes, because this will be that whole side design. So it goes on the front, and it goes dark blue, gray, light blue, gray, white, light blue. So I think we have everything except for the gray, actually. We have dark blue. Is this the dark blue? Uh-oh. I've lost track here. No, this is the dark blue. Is that the same color? God damn it. Alright, I don't trust myself. I'm gonna check the 200 again. What's the dark blue? Oh, that's the dark blue. Okay. So let's start with... It kind of goes just above here. Upwards on the rear. Something like that, I think. I think that looks good. So we're going to call this dark blue. Paint this and then put that in. Kumon, yes you are next. In fact, yeah. So I'm going to do DC Solo, then I'm going to do Priya's Eneo scheme, and then you're up. So Canadian Tire and Tim Hortons. And I already have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do for that. I'm going to sneeze here, hold on. Nope. Nope, I felt the sneeze coming, but it didn't happen. It's not meant to be. Okay, so let's go back over here. I like the little light blue outline on the numbers. I think I'm going to try and add that before I do anything else. So we're going to go new layer, light blue outline. We're going to take this white, again, alpha to selection, select grow, and we're probably going to go, I don't know, 2 pixels. Does that seem appropriate? Oops. There we go. Nope, more than that. We need more than 2 pixels. Maybe double that to 4. This is one of the things I don't like about GIMP. There's sometimes stuff where you just kind of have to guess and check, and like, this is one of those things. And then it looks like the roof is light blue, and it still has an outline on the 48 up there. So we're going to do the same thing on the top. We're going to go dark blue outline there. Sorry for the sniffles again. I know I've apologized, but I'm not doing great right now. Alright. That looks good. So let's trim that. Oh wait. Idiot. It's supposed to be dark blue. Yeah. There we go. And we'll trim that layer down, go to the bottom. I forgot to trim this, so we can do that here. Perfect. And now we're going to continue with these stripes. So we got to get that gray, which, like, it seems like it's the same color as that gray, but it actually is a lot darker. So I think we're just going to guess and check that gray, and then we're also going to make the solar in DC Solar that same color. So we're just going to grab our letters here. I think it's too big, actually. And what color is that gray? Probably like a 4, right? Let's try a 4. It looks about right, except the edges look absolutely terrible. Wow. So let's feather by pixel and try that again. Still doesn't look great. It's really not smooth. How do I smooth this? I can feather, I can sharpen, but I can't smooth? This is all because if I would just alpha to selection, it selects like the white. This is annoying. I mean, I could just get rid of the white here. Let's try that. This is all just to make the gray a little bit darker, guys. People ask me, whoa, why does it take so long to paint my cars? This is why. Stuff like this. Like, ugh. Okay. That's much better. Let's just do that to the DC as well while we're here. I thought it wouldn't matter that we have this white outline on a white car, but it really does. There we go. Okay. So let's bring this DC solar into here. Oops, that's bigger. I want to make it smaller. There we go. Okay. All right. Andrew, I know you're trying to moderate anyways. Just start. Use your judgment. I trust you. If people are like spamming or advertising or stuff, you know exactly what to do. There we go. So now, after all of that, we can alpha this new logo to selection, deselect the DC, and now the solar is the right color. Perfect. So, I want to make this dark gray layer, so I'm just going to take the dark blue over here. First of all, trim it. Or actually, no, don't trim it. Yeah, trim it. We'll make a new layer and we'll go for dark gray. And we're going to build it all the way up to here. So we're just going to select this. And we're going to use the select grow tool again. And this is probably something like 30 pixels. Just throwing a number out there. It's more than that. Maybe 50. Adrian, I know you wanted to anyways. Or, like, if you don't want to, let me know, because I don't want to, like, throw you there if you actually want to, like, try and enjoy the streams and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm jumping a lot here. I just want to try and get this dark gray to look good, and I think that's about what we want. And now we need those two light blue stripes. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to duplicate the dark blue layer, and I'm going to duplicate the gray layer. I'm going to move this up until I've got about the width of the light blue stripe, and I think that's it. So I'm going to select my duplicate of the dark gray layer, and I'm going to delete this layer from it. Sorry, I meant I'm going to select the dark blue layer, delete that from the dark gray layer, and then select the new one, make it light blue, paste it in, and there we go. Delete that, and make this light blue. Trim it down, and now I have a nice little light blue stripe I can drag around. We're going to take one there, duplicate it, and we're going to put one up here. A little bit higher maybe. Nice, that's looking good. We have a little bit of leakage down here, but that's fine. I can just delete that, clean that up. And let's save real quick and see how this looks. That's pretty cool, actually. I think we got the Brennan Pool thing going on here. So now we have to rotate the DC Solar logo to match this angle that we have. That should be pretty easy to do. I think it's about 8 degrees. Just eyeballing it. Less than that. Let's try 7. This is another one of those stupid guess and check things in GIMP. Because it doesn't, it leaves the original layer here, so when you rotate it, like, you can't see. Ugh. It's frustrating. -5, maybe? That's pretty good, actually. Let's go 5.5. I gotta look up more plugins and stuff for GIMP, because I know there's things that'll fix like frustrating GIMP issues, and this is one of those frustrating GIMP issues. How to become a mod? You like, just be a trustworthy person. I think Adria's more than proved. She's someone that I can trust. You are the next car to be painted. Yeah, I answered that. You asked if you're next. I said you're next. After the 42 is done, yeah, it's you. The Kumon Cup Series, it is you. Okay, so I like the DC Solar logo. I like the angle of everything. I'm just going to put on the Ineos logo, because I know that's the secondary. I'm excited to paint the Ineos car, honestly. Because the colors look so nice. It's similar to the Ryzen ones, honestly. The red and that orange, fantastic. Just a great looking combination there. So let's get rid of the Nippon oil. We don't need that. I just want the little Ineos square. Trim down, and then scale that down, and we're just gonna stick it behind the number here. Kind of like where the Lincoln and Sherwin-Williams logos are. And it's going to look like a Hendrick one where it just kind of sticks out because it's got a big old square around it. Am I a hockey fan? I am. I live in Canada. What do you expect from me? Y'all excited for the new season? I think it's shaping up to be a real cracker. DC Solar, we got Ineos. We just need the stripes around the front. That's easy enough. We already have these stripes set up. And then we want a deck lid logo and then a rear logo. And then I don't know what the rear of this car looks like. Do the stripes go around there? No, they don't. Good. That makes my job easier. I don't have to like match up the stripes to these lines here. I can just leave it white at the back. But it does mean, see this Camaro logo? No, because you can barely read it. So we gotta make this Camaro decal. Oh, someone followed me. Thank you for following, Baldumati. And just for all my friends on YouTube, so you know, like I have Twitch and I do restream there sometimes. Or sorry, I restream there all the time, and sometimes I'll like only stream on Twitch if I want a smaller audience, if I'm doing something not related to my YouTube channel. So we got that black Camaro logo, that looks nice. So I want to put these stripes around the front of the car, the way that they have it done here. So we can kind of draw an imaginary line along these stripes, probably about... Thank you for subscribing. But Mitchell, god damn it. Did you unsubscribe and then... Don't... Look, man, I know they're fun, my little subscriber notifications, but don't mess around too much with them, right? So the stripe goes around near the top of the BR logo. So we're just going to grab all of our stripes from the bottom here. We're going to trim those down. And just duplicate that whole layer group. And we're going to move it to the front and just kind of rotate it and see how that looks. So I think we figured out these are around 5 degrees, or 5.5 degrees. So we can rotate that and then see how... I don't know if I can do that better myself. I think it's exactly 5.5 degrees. And again, near the top of the BR logo. It's a good time to be a Sharks fan, isn't it? Yeah, he mentioned about what's it called? What's his name? Carlson being traded. Because that's a big deal. Because Ottawa's garbage right now. They have nobody. It's a sad time to be a Sens fan, which I'm not, for the record. Go Leafs. They've got a cup to win this year. Sorry, back on topic here. How does this guy look? I think that's pretty cool. I think that fits well. I don't know if I should put the Ineos logo here in front of the wheel or behind the wheel, because there's nothing back here and it looks kind of weird. But then on the real car, that's the case. So, I don't know. I think I'll leave it there. I want to get just the Ineos text. So I think I'm just going to literally grab that. And then we're going to make that, I think, dark gray. And just throw that on the deck lid of the car. A Leafs fan finally? I don't understand all the Leafs haters on the internet, man. They don't deserve it. It's been so long since we won a cup, man. I think this is our year, honestly. With such a great mix of good young kids, and then Tavares here, like, I think if we've ever had like a cup-winning a cup-winning team in the last however many years, this is it. I just realized the solar on my hood is not the right gray. So let's throw this guy in here. Because this is the right gray. Or it will be once I paint it. And I think it was 4 gray, right? Yeah. There we go. Thank you, Preston, for following me on Twitter. You won't get a stream notification for that, though, unfortunately. I don't even know if you can integrate that stuff. I just got started with like Streamlabs and these subscriber notifications and stuff like that anyways. Yeah, I'm also sad that Sundin couldn't win a cup, because, yeah. I don't know, I honestly thought, like, Kessel, Kadri, JVR, like, that was not a bad team. We just, I don't know, I feel like we flopped a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna stick DC Solar, like this one from the side on the back. And again, we're going 5.5 degrees. Just because it ended up being that way. And again, that was just like a guess and check thing that I figured out. I think we're going to make it fit between the lights here. I like bigger logos, but I don't like it when it's like messed up on the geometry and stuff. I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. It's simple. I wouldn't say it's as outstanding as the Logitech and the AMD liveries were, but it's elegant. I think so. Let's render this baby out. I like that a lot. The white looks really clean. The design is simple. I might move DC solar down a little bit because I don't like the way it bends around the rear. And I'd rather have it like be cut off in the wheel well than curl it up the top of the car the way that it is right now. So let's do that. So this DC solar, just kind of grab the whole thing. Bring it down a little bit. That R is still going to curl up, but I think it's going to look better than what that render currently is. That's the best part about these renders. It's just like you can run it, learn what you need to fix, and then just do it again. I don't know if I like that yellow splitter edge either. You know what? I'm going to get rid of that too. While we're at it. So that's in the paintable parts section. Splitter edge, we're just going to make it that dark blue, just so it matches with everything else. Nice, we can re-export and render again. Spitfire, I had a lot of fun making these cars, honestly. I think you got some of the picture ones. Nice, I think that splitter looks a lot better, darker than it does sticking out. Oh, I forgot the roof, idiot. He doesn't have a white roof. He's got a blue one, right? Yeah. Something so small. So minor, but I just totally forgot it. So we're just gonna make a roof layer. And I'm just gonna kind of run it along these roof rails here. Actually, no, screw that. I'm just gonna freehand this. I don't care that much. It's just a roof. Oh, I also have to change the banner at the rear. There we go. It's rough edges, whatever. Selection from path. Pick our light blue, and then just paint bucket that in there. And then obviously put it under the numbers. So now rear banner, we need to change the name. So I downloaded like the actual NASCAR font, which is, I literally can't pronounce it. It's a huge German name. I don't know why, but like, look it up if you're really curious about that. So is it Mick Shane? So I think on McMurray's banner they actually lowercase this. No, that's Jamie Mack. They don't lowercase the C. Who was a Mick? McDowell. I think they lowercase the C on the banner, which is, I think, the only lowercase letters they have on rear banners in NASCAR, unless there's anyone else with like a Mick. Or maybe Bolamastis? I don't know. Anyways, it's a whole banner thing. McShane. Export that out. Now we've got that good looking blue roof. We can render it again. Oh, Bali from Argentina. Registered in the league. That's fun. Let's see what number you picked. Number 37, K&N and Walmart. Oh, you have to change away from Walmart. Someone already has Walmart. But I can give you 37 and I can give you K&N. Like, I literally just painted a Walmart car today. I'm sorry. And then I go over to my survey and I can remove 37 from that list so you guys can't choose it. And update you in here. Okay. That looks good. Which car am I really looking forward to do? Honestly, what I'm about to do, like the Kumon 44 with Canadian Tire and Tim Hortons, that's going to be fun. Ineos is going to be fun. UPS and AAA is pretty simple. Eris and Tide is pretty simple. Old Spice will be fun. Advanced auto parts is pretty easy. Aflac will be cool. Flex seal, but these are all just things where I know I'm gonna copy real life schemes. Discount tire, safe light. Discord will be cool. Anything with quarter panel numbers. That's what I'm looking forward to. Honestly. I think the cars look so cool with them. So this render is ready to go. 42 DC solar. That looks nice. So I'm going to drop that in the Discord. Number 42 DC solar Camaro for Priya McShane. And then I'm also going to put that in the showroom. Yeah, send me a photo, but you have to pick a sponsor other than Walmart. You have to pick a different sponsor because Walmart's already taken. And, like, I just painted it. Hold on, where is it? This is the Walmart car already that I just made, like, literally earlier today. So, unfortunately, you can't have that. Even though you want to do a Bill Lilly one, which is... I understand. Alright, so... Again, we just have to take the bottom end. Duplicate it. Flip vertically. I gotta turn on my fake contingency layer. Line it all up perfectly. And flip the logos. So now when you flip DC solar, you can see it's not in line. But if you remember, we turned it exactly 5.5 degrees. Multiply that by 2, 11 degrees. And it fits perfectly fine with the line. And there we go. That is a completed paint for the number 42. How can you change it? Just tell me, like right now, what sponsor you want, other than Walmart. And I'll let you know if it's taken or not. And I'll just like, I'll manually stick it into the database. So we can quickly check in 3ds Max. You can see the 42 looks good, DC Solar looks good. It's a little bit dark because the light's on the other side, but that's whatever. Eneos looks good. The stripes look real nice. Everything's working well. So now we get to do the Eneos car, which I'm going to look up Kyle Larson Eneos again. So it's mainly orange. We've got this kind of design on the side here, which I'm going to have to make myself, so that'll be fun. There's a good photo. So this will be our reference photo. The white maple leaf in the spot where the number is. With a flame scheme? That will look cool, but here's my idea. Come on. The Ron Fellows Canadian Tire Nationwide car. I think this will look much better. I like your idea with the flames, but this is what I want to do to your car. So it's black with like a texture on the front, Canadian Tire. It's got a maple leaf shape here. It's got like the green maple leaf from the Canadian Tire logo and then the red on the back. So I don't know, let me know if you still want to do your design, because I'll do that, but I think this will look cooler, personally. Like, this is what I had in mind for your Canadian Tire car. I don't know, let me know. But I think this looks like really, really cool. I really want to paint this car, dude. Honestly, it looks sick. And on the, do you have the Camaro? Oh, you have the Camry. It'll still look cool. Like, on a modern car, it'll look awesome. But yeah, let me know. What colors? Yours is gonna be black, Preston, but that won't be for a while. You're literally at the bottom of the list. Okay, so we need a big Ineos logo on the hood, a logo on the side, 42, black shadow, white outline. So let's make our Ineos car, and we're just going to save as, so branch it off of our DC Solar car, and then get ready to export it as Ineos. And then just preemptively switch to that texture in 3ds Max. Can you use Genesee? Yeah, sure. Sure, I'll put you in right now. Genesee. Genesee? I don't know if it's pronounced like that, but either way, you're good. So, oh my god. We have, so far we have 56 entries for like 42 kart races, which means outside of the top 35, it is going to be a battle. Seriously. Okay, then hold on. I gotta. Come on, you ain't making it easy, that's for sure. I gotta add this because it's gonna disappear in the chat. What the hell is your thing? Mostly red. White maple leaf under the number. Red number flame scheme. Okay. I'll try my best. Alright. Also, just check Discord. Like when I post the other 42 car, that's when I'm going to start making yours. Alright, so let's go back over to Ineos over here. So we know our two colors are going to be this red and this orange, so we can grab those. Our red and our orange. And very similar to the Ryzen one, actually. And let's go back to our reference material. Orange with red stripes. Simple enough. So we can make our base orange. And we can already clear out some of this stuff from before. We don't need a blue roof anymore, unless his roof is a different color. Yeah, okay, whatever. His roof is red. We can just move our DC Solar logo from here to the deck lid, because that's like now our primary sponsor, not our secondary sponsor, sorry. And I'm gonna make, it's gonna be red, it's gonna be orange. So I'm gonna make the solar part of it white. So I do that by doing alpha to selection, and then I can deselect everything that's not the solar logo, or the solar part of the logo. And then just paint bucket that guy white. Simple as that. I think that'll look much better on an orange background. Right, so you want the number framed by the leaf. Oh, I had another option for you. Robin Buck. Number 43. Nope. If I do your 44 like this, instead of like framed by maple leaf, I just do the 44 with the maple leaf in the middle like that. Is that cooler, or do you still want like a small number with a big leaf around it? Because this is kind of like what I had in mind. It's the 43 but with a maple leaf inside the 4, or half of a leaf. But then yours will be 44, so it'll just be like this but twice. Let me know, like my idea or your idea. Anyways, back to Ineos. Let's make this a little bit smaller. So actually, we don't need the sun, do we? I don't think we need the sun on it. That'll just fit better on the deck lid now. I would do both halves, but like the other one's just gonna look backwards because it's inside of the 4. So like it only looks right if it's the left half of the leaf. That's what I think, at least. We can try it, but I think it'll look funky. Alright. That looks good now. So on the rear end, we don't need the DC Solar logo. And now we gotta change all the number colors. So we're going white number, black outline, and then a white outline around that. So we're going white, black, white. There we go. It doesn't have like the shadow the way this one does, but whatever, I don't mind it. So it like matches the style of the Brennan Pool one, but it's just different colors. So again, white, black, white. And now we gotta do that in the tiny ones too. So we're in the rear. We're gonna go white, black. We don't need the other little outline, that's too much. Which is again white and black. There we go. That looks good. So we need a big EOS logo on the side, and it's got a little black shadow as well, which this one does, which is helpful for us. I want to see if I can find an EOS logo. Aha, perfect. Wait, no, not perfect. This one doesn't have the shadow. Alright, whatever. I'll work from this. So let's select all of our black, because I want to basically like extract this from the orange one, from the orange background, and all of our white. I don't know what's going to look better, that or if I just like cut it out and then just remove everything that's not it. Let's try this. See if we can chop all of the red and all of the orange in it. Okay, yeah, that's much easier. And it still has like a little bit of artifact, like red stuff around it. I don't care, because it's going to go on a red background anyways, right? Or like red and orange. It'll look fine. EOS. EOS? EOS? I don't actually know how to pronounce it. What's my favorite sponsor I've seen so far? Ooh. I gotta say, I like the Canadian Tire Tim Hortons combo. I really wish he didn't make so many requests so I could just paint it the way I want it, but whatever. I don't know, there's been some good sponsors. Skittles and Peak are both really good picks, because those both like make really good schemes. I like both of those. Logitech and AMD are cool because I can just kind of like mess around with it myself the way that I did. I don't have to like follow any previous schemes or anything. I can be creative. Yeah, I don't know. Red Bull and Caterpillar was cool. I don't know if there's any sponsor that has really like blew my mind or anything. The Pirate Bay is pretty funny, I gotta say. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of the way that I expected it to go. Most people are picking like real NASCAR sponsors. Some people are putting their own channels up. That's cool. Okay, so we've got EOS on the side here. Although in the real car, they actually squeeze it a little bit, so I'm going to do that too. There we go. And they've got it on that orange, which, again, remember those little red things that we saw around the logo? Like, out here, it doesn't make a difference at all. So let's see if this is big enough to literally just stick on the hood of the car. Oh, it is. That's perfect, dude. Look at this. We can literally, like, just take this and just put it on the hood of the car. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's easy. That makes my life a lot easier. It's pretty much the same, honestly. I might try to make it a little bit smaller. Oh, yeah. That's nice. So I'm going to just cut this red off a little bit because you can see how it kind of like gets cut off out there. I guess I make it a little bit smaller. No, that looks good. I'm leaving that. This curve goes up. So now I can just make it look less boxy, literally by doing that. So it looks like it was made to cut out there. And same with this one, because this one goes through this little jutting out bit. Chop that, and now it looks like it was meant to be. So let's preview this on the car. Oh, it's looking great. It's fantastic. All right, well, let's get to this design on the side, and we're pretty close to finishing this 42 car. Honestly, like, I guess we just switch the rear Camaro back to white. So before I like screw around with the design on this side, I'm just gonna get the logo on the rear out of the way. Perfect. Am I going to race this? No, I'm not going to race this. This is for my Sim series, which if you're not familiar with is a big project that I'm taking on. I want to do a proper offline league. And, oops. And you'll be able to see this like in live streams for my races, but I'm not going to race this one. I mean, I could because it looks really cool. So I want this side skirt to be white. And this will be the start of this side design. Is it a mode for Sims? It's basically in NR2003. I let the computer simulate the races and decide the fate of anyone who decides to sign up. So we got a big curve red here. The roof is all red. Run along the roof line. So it's under the Goodyear logo. It comes up to the race car, and then it goes back there over the top. Oof. Okay, we got a lot going on. Is it a mod? No, it's not a mod. It's just the game. It's not The Sims. It's NR2003. It's just simulating. That's why I call it The Sims. I don't want to layer group. I just want to layer. And we're going to call this red for obvious reasons. So again, right through the Goodyear logo, it comes up to the race car logo. And then it goes back here, and then this part of the car is all done. And again, we're using the path tool in GIMP to get these nice looking curves. And we can just hug this green line, which we know is the edge of the window area. Yeah, that looks good. So that's all red. And then it comes down a little bit to about there. And then it curves all the way back to the rear bumper. So this is going to be a big old curve like that. Kind of through the O of the Ineos logo. And then it does the same thing on the other side. So it curves up across the entire car to the front corner. So I'm going to make a point here. Big curve down to this corner. Nice. Okay, if it's on Discord, then I'm going to look at it afterwards. But thanks for letting me know. Signups have taken place for weeks, guys. Look at my videos, man. Yeah, I posted it a week ago about signups. Signups have been open for a while. Okay. So then it goes up to the number. This is getting really confusing. And then back down to the front. Wait, what? Oh no, I'm doing this part. Okay, hold on. I gotta figure out what's going on. So that's all red. Okay. I'm just gonna make this all red. And then we can cut from it later. So that's most of the design. Now we can cut from it. So there's one that goes up through here, all the way to the, like, behind the Ineos logo. Put it like right there, sure. And then it comes back through there, through everything to about here. And there's nothing in between, so this can be down here. Oh. And then we can add this, or delete this from the red. And that's orange. Nice. You can still sign up, guys. It just makes it more work for me, honestly. I shouldn't have said that. Because I got more cars to paint. Ugh. Okay, whatever. And there's one more curve that goes up to the 42 here. This is a lot of... I knew this one was going to be a hard one. That's why I did the DC solar one first. Because there is just like so much involved. And we'll make that red. Okay. I think that is all. Let's export this real quick and just see how it looks on the car. It looks cool, honestly. I think that came out pretty well. We just have to do the little front bit in front of the wheel. I like that a lot, actually. Compare these two. I'm proud of that one, seriously. That's good, that's good. Alright. Ineos. We need a DC solar logo down here somewhere. Luckily we have that. Let's actually take this white one that we have on the deck lid and just copy that. Spin it around and stick it somewhere on the bottom. I think we're going to go back here on this one. Or, I don't know. He's got his other logos behind the number, so we'll do that actually. DC solar looking good, and then we'll take the sun. And throw it on there as well. Perfect. See if we have any new signups. Actually, I gotta keep checking this now. People are showing up still. Okay, so let's do the little front curve thing, which should be, again, we can draw our little imaginary line here. Oh, we might not need it actually. We'll just go through the contingencies. So front, new layer. We'll make it red. We'll go something like that. And let's see how that'll look. Looks okay, it needs to be rotated more, so trim this layer. And just kind of spin it around a little bit. Export it, preview it. Nice. Yeah, that looks good. So, duplicate that, flip it around. And that should work very nicely. Very nicely indeed. It'll be your nickname. It's only your last name if it's like your YouTube name is your full name, like in this case. I think you'd be fine with it. Oh, we do have a new sign up. Whoa, Speedco, Husky Tools, Miller High 711. Yeah, I guess those are all fine. So the 33 is gone and the 71 is gone. Oh my goodness, we are running out of numbers actually. Like there's literally only 52 number options. That's incredible. So thanks for signing up, guys. I'm only going to do one of your paints because I literally won't have time before the speed weeks. But yeah, you guys are both locked in. Thanks, Brendan. Dude, in all honesty, go wild. That means you're getting quarter panel numbers, by the way, just so you know. So I think we are ready to export this guy. Sign up for what? My league, buddy. Look at my last video. Like, pause this, go back, look at my last video, and then we can talk. Alright. Let's render this baby out. I've been streaming for 2 hours already. Wow. How do you sign up? Look at my video. Watch my last video. Ask about it. Go do it. Alright. So let's save this render. Eneos.png. Perfect. That looks good. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So actually, before I finish, I'm going to do it one more time for literally the most minor things. I want to change the splitter edge to white. And now I can render this again. And then while that's rendering, let's just go over and flip all of our bottom side decals over. So we'll duplicate this boy, vertically flip it, move it over to this side. Wait a second. That's not right. Side skirt and red have to go in there. There we go. Now we can flip it. I knew I was missing something. And then line all of these up. Perfect. So flip DC solar. Flip Eneos. Flip the number. Actually, we're going to have to move DC solar now because of that number flip. Very, very nice. There we go. That's another card done. And another render that looks fantastic. Orange and red is such a great combo. I'm excited to do the K&N car, honestly. Oh, you would definitely be part-time, buddy. Full-time spots were gone within literally a day. That looks cool. I don't know if I can make it look that nice. I'm gonna make sure I get that in here for K and N. Eneos. So the number 42, Eneos Camaro. Did they sponsor Kyle Larson because he's Japanese? I just thought about that. I don't know why that is. And then we'll stick that in the showroom as well. Actually, I'm not going to open PMs in stream. That's pretty silly. I'll look at it afterwards. Do we have a number 46? We don't, right? Someone changed their name to number 46 but didn't actually sign up. Okay, Ineos car looks good. I don't know if I'm just going to stream much longer, honestly. It's been 2.5 hours, guys. And I do want a break. Yeah, that's right. I'm human too. What are you going to do about it? So, yeah, I think that's it. I'll do the 44 later tonight, but not in this stream. So thanks to all of you guys for tuning in. I'm going to go on Discord now and help you guys out. Whoever's like still trying to sign up for the league. But this is a fun little hangout. I'm glad so many of you actually came and watched and it wasn't just like one dude telling me what to do. It was a good time. So remember to tune in. Well, actually, I'm going to put up a video, like an announcement video on Saturday with either Saturday or Sunday. That's not, I didn't say Saturday. It's not final. Either Saturday or Sunday. And then I'll have, you know, paint schemes and then it'll be like a driver intro type thing. Maybe I'll do a trailer for the series. I don't know if I have time to do it because I have so much painting left to do still. But on Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, it's the Gatorade duels. It is crazy. We have like literally almost 30 people in each of the duels. And there are a lot of you guys trying to race your way into the 500. So that'll be exciting to watch. And then Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, is the Daytona 250, the first big race. 42 of you guys all up against each other, live streamed with commentary, fun stuff. It'll be a great time. So be ready for those. Follow me on Twitter if you want more updates and just like stuff that I don't put in Discord, honestly. Join the Discord, even if you don't want to be in the series. Like, it's a great place to chat. There's a lot of like good NASCAR talk in there. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. This weekend's gonna be huge. See you later, guys.